Hey everybody, welcome back to North Fork. I'm Derek, thanks for joining us today. So today, it's snowing a little bit. Right now we have maybe 3 or 4 inches of snow. I'm not sure how much we're going to get. They said about 6 inches, but you never know if it's going to be 4 inches, 6 inches, 8, 10. But I use the Gravely. I put a plow on the front. I have a 48-inch plow to plow, get the stuff close to the garage doors and push the driveway back a little bit. I use Elvis, the dump truck, to do the main road. But the little stuff, the fine detailed stuff right around the house, I like to use a garden tractor. It's a little easier to do. So I probably haven't had this running for probably a couple months, maybe even since the last time it snowed back in, I don't know, March or something like that. So it's been sitting here. It shouldn't start. It has a fairly new battery in it. But we're going to check a couple things over and start it up, move it over here, put the plow on, and get ready to go. All right, so the Gravely is a rear engine lawn tractor. It's kind of unique in that aspect. So first thing we're going to do before we go starting this up for the season, we're going to check the oil. So lift the back hood, whatever you want to call it. All right, we're good on oil. Check some things over. Gas is on. All right, so everything looks good to go. Go ahead and see if it'll start up. It hasn't been started in a couple months, so it might take a little bit. Alright, doesn't seem to want to start. So let's check the spark on it. We'll pull the plug out. Gravely uses a twin cylinder Kohler 18 horsepower. So we'll pull this plug out. It's pretty black. Doesn't seem like there's any gas on that. Alright, so I don't know if you can see that on the video or not, but looks like it had spark there. But I don't see any gas. The spark plug is dry, so definitely looks like something on the fuel side. So we'll put the spark plug back in. We have good spark. We'll check fuel. So first thing before I go tearing into the carburetor, I'm going to see if the fuel line coming right down through here has fuel in it. So I turned the fuel off. It was on. Made sure of that. So there is fuel coming out. So all right, let me pull the bottom of this air filter off, the filter housing off. See if that helps me see anything under here. Alright, so right down here is where the fuel comes from the fuel pump into the carburetor. So I'm going to pull that off, see if I got fuel coming from the fuel pump. I replaced that fuel pump at least 2 times on this tractor. And granted, I'm not replacing it with Kohler parts, but it is something that has gone bad in the past. In the past, when that fuel pump has gone bad, it's flooded the engine with gas. It's actually hydrolocked it, filled the cylinders up with gas. So I'm not saying that's not it. It could just not be pumping. But my experience, bad fuel pump on these engines has caused it to flood the engine. All right, doesn't look like it's getting any fuel. So that fuel line is completely dry. So the fuel pump is actually right down here, bolted onto the engine. I just looked, and the tractor only has 3 hours on it since I changed the fuel pump last. So I did that in March of last year, not even a year ago. So we'll pull it off and see what's going on here. But I did use it for several hours since I put it on, so it's not like it's a problem with it right off the bat. All right, so this is the inside of the fuel pump. This is a diaphragm, and the diaphragm works off the cam of the engine, and it pushes this up and down, and it pumps the fuel through the pump into the carburetor. And usually what happens is this diaphragm gets a hole into it, at least what I've experienced, and then it drains down into the crankcase because it runs off of a cam on the camshaft. So it's linked right into the crankcase. I don't see any holes in it, any rips, any tears. The spring seems good. So the only thing that could be is if the cam isn't working it up and down, but I'd rather think that it wasn't getting fuel to it somehow. Let me just try to dump some down the carburetor and see if it'll pop fire off of that, or maybe some starting fluid. We'll just put this back together. Alright, that seemed to work. Maybe it just needed a little shot of starting fluid to get it fired off. I seem to have cranked it quite a bit. I thought it would have turned over, done something there, but maybe it was just enough dry in the bowl that it needed a little starting fluid to make a fire, and so we'll put it back together here and see if we can get it to run. Like I said, it hasn't been ran in a couple months, probably 6-7 months from the last time it snowed is my guess. I didn't really use it much over the summer. We don't have a lot of grass. I do have a mower deck for it. I haven't had it on, the mower deck on, quite a few years, ever since we moved up here. We don't have a whole lot of grass, and we end up just push mowing everything a couple times a year. But so I probably should start it and run it more, but I just haven't had the time to do it. Been a little busy over the summer, so we'll get it running, and then we'll see how much snow we got out there. Alright, so these latches come down over the pins of the tractor, and then I'm going to put a pin in there to keep those down. And I've got this is for the hydraulic lift, to lift it up and down. Alright, it looks like it's all good to go. Got the chains on, I never took those off from last year. Plow's on, ready to go. And let's go check outside and see how much snow we got. Alright, so here it is outside. Looks like it's snowing. We've probably got 3-4 inches. Looks like it's kind of sleeting a little bit now. Not a real fine snow or big flakes or anything like that. So supposed to switch over to freezing rain. So I'm not going to plow right now. I'm afraid that if I plow and it freezes rain later, then it'll get too slippery on it. And if I hold off and plow till after it's done, that freezing rain will be on top of snow. I can plow it off and get right down to stones, and I shouldn't have any problem then. So we're going to wait a little bit and see what it's like a little later on this evening or even tomorrow morning. See what it's like. All right, so here we are the next day. We got about 4 or 5 inches of snow yesterday. Switched over to freezing rain, so I'm glad I didn't plow. It rained probably until midnight last night. We just got back here this afternoon, and we're going to get ready and plow at least the driveway. I don't think we need to do the main road. I don't think we need to get Elvis out, the dump truck out, but we're going to get the Gravely out, and we're going to plow the driveway and try to get that to melt off a little quicker. So let's get the tractor out and start plowing. I'll hit it. Alright, so usually when I plow the driveway with the Gravely, the tractor, I'll plow I'll have the plow straight and go down through the driveway in the center first, and then come back up. I usually can't plow back up because I'm plowing uphill, so I drive back up and then angle the plow to the side and plow everything off to the right side, angle it to the left, and plow everything off to the left side. And then I clean up a little bit up here around the house. So let's go ahead and do that. It's not a perfect job. There's still some snow on here, but I don't like to plow all the way down to the stones. A couple places here you can see where it got a little bit in the stones, but I don't like to plow all my stones off the driveway. I'd rather leave a little bit on there, a little bit of snow on there, so that I don't lose all my stones. It'll still melt off. It'll melt off better than it would if I just left it like this. But we're going to do a little bit of cleanup up here, and then we'll probably put a little bit of ashes on it just to help it melt off. That dark color helps to absorb some of the sun when it comes out, some of the heat, and it'll help melt it off and also give a little bit of traction instead of the snow. So let's clean up here at the top, and then we'll get the spreader out. All right, so that's pretty much it. 3 trips down the driveway, 1 in the center, 1 off to each side. A little bit of cleanup down at the bottom, a little bit of cleanup up here at the top, and it's all done pretty quick. You know, for a couple inches of snow, that's definitely the way to go. I don't have to plow the whole road with the dump truck. I can just do the driveway with this, and we can get in and out well enough. I'm going to put some cinders on here. It's getting too dark. Probably won't show that. Maybe I'll do it in another video another day when I do it. But for right now, I think we're going to call this video good. So I appreciate you watching and sticking around till the end. And thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.